Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Andrea Evans. I own the law firm of Andrea H Evans, a full-service intellectual property law firm. We provide patent, trademark, and copyright legal services to clients worldwide. I'm also the proud founder of Kidgineer. We provide hands-on engineering programs for children as young as 5 years old. We have our famous Rock the Code video game class. And I'm also the owner of Boss Squire, a hands-on educational and mentoring program for lawyers where I help you find out what your passion is in or out of the law and how to monetize that passion. And today I am smiling because I have one of my good friends, Dr. Michelle Clay, here today for this amazing interview. Now, when I think about Dr. Michelle, I think about calm, I think about peacefulness, I think about patience, and you're going to see as you watch this interview why I'm saying all these things. So Dr. Michelle Clay, welcome, and please tell everybody about yourself.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Andrea, for inviting me here. I'm so honored. And greetings to everyone. So I am Dr. Michelle Clay, and I am a physician. I'm a certified holistic health counselor and clinical nutritionist. I'm a two-time best-selling author, speaker, all of these things. I own the company Free Life 7, which I call a life-enhancing company. And what I mean by that is to help enhance your life in all dimensions of wellness. That's physical, emotional, social, environmental, intellectual, and spiritual. And really finding harmony and balance with all those dimensions so that you can release your stress simply and naturally. And I know your community, Andrea, and your audience, they are go-getters and goal-getters. So we're constantly on the move, and a lot of times we're overwhelmed and overextended, and that creates a perfect storm for stress. So I help people find and create the balance in all of that.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's a mouthful. So I'm kind of a computer. I can't stand up and, snap and run around the room. I think you just targeted everybody. So everybody here has some type of stress, whether they want to admit it or not. And everybody is seeking balance. So let me ask you about that, especially because you said the name of your company is Free Life 7. When you think of a free life, so what does free mean to you and what does balance mean to you?
So free to me is freedom, and it's freedom to be who God created me to be. Freedom to have the mind space to discover your purpose and then the courage to walk in it, unencumbered. Now, balance, let me be clear about something. I have read articles that say, oh, you can't find balance, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But how many of you have gone to the circus before, right? And what do they have at the circus? They had the juggler. And sometimes the juggler was juggling balls, and then he really got fancy when he introduced knives. And though there were things that were harmful that he was juggling, he was able to maintain until he was ready, not to let them all fall, but catch them one by one. So I'm all into analogies. So if you think of it like that, as far as that is what balance means to me, not to say that everything in your life is rainbows and roses. There are things that are stressful, maybe even toxic, but that you're able to balance them before they all come crashing down on you.
Wow, I love that analogy, and it makes me feel good, because you read, like you said, a lot of articles where people say they're doing everything perfect, especially during this time. So as you know, right now there's a pandemic and most states are doing a shelter in place. In Maryland, we actually have an 8 p.m. curfew. The schools are closed. So we're in the house together. We are a big team. So that's like running a business in itself. Your family, your business, having all these Zoom happy hours with friends, and you can't really say no to that because you still want to be social. So let's talk about that a little bit. You talk about juggling, but what can we do to basically not feel overwhelmed during this time as we juggle all these different things?
So, especially to someone like you who has a family and you're all at home together, still carving out time for me time, something that is just about you, for you. And whether that is your time in the bathroom, and I don't mean, to cleanse yourself and that type of thing, but maybe taking a long shower or a nice hot bath, burning some aromatherapy candles, or diffusing some essential oils. I remember a time in my life where my house was very stressful, and this was before the pandemic. I used to go in my car, and the car was a place just for me to breathe, decompress, if I needed to read, or even take my laptop in there because I could still catch that Wi-Fi, and just do what I want to do in total silence, uninterrupted. So I think that is definitely important. And then once we are through this pandemic, to maintain that practice. I call it creating me time in the midst of mayhem. So COVID-19 is one type of mayhem, but then when we go back to our past life, there's another type of mayhem. So always putting yourself first so that you will have the strength to give and serve others.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you're saying this can be done anywhere, like the bathroom to your car, but just carving out that time. So is there a set amount of time that you recommend, like a minimum amount of time?
If you have little ones, then like toddlers or infants, then it might be a little bit more challenging, but at minimum 5 minutes, at minimum. If you could get 30 minutes, that would be great, but sometimes that's challenging. So definitely anytime between 5 and 30 minutes.
That sounds good. And that sounds doable because everybody can take 5 minutes, especially if everybody is safe and not hungry, or, just taking time for yourself. And I think that really can help us to look at this from a different light, because we realize at this point that we don't have a lot of control over this. And what I'm finding from Facebook and looking at social media is it can be overwhelming because you have a mix of different posts, from people posting morbid posts every day to people kind of shaming people, saying this is what you should be doing during this time for your business if you're not doing it. So is there something that you recommend in terms of how we look at social media and the things that we look at on the news, like a set amount of time to take in all that type of information?
I limit my social media interaction because, like you said, it can be very overwhelming. And I even had an instance where one day I was feeling extremely anxious and I was afraid. And I'm here in New Orleans, which is a hot spot, as you know, and I wanted to leave New Orleans. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, I'm going to have to get things together because I'm going to have to leave here and go to Indianapolis. So what I did to calm myself, I went to bed, and the next morning when I woke up, I said, okay, I'm not going to turn on social media. I did a lot of deep breathing and I meditated. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't know how to meditate. I can't be still. I can't turn my mind off. But there's different forms of meditation. You can just sit still and be quiet. You can use a guided meditation like a recording. And there's even movement meditation like walking meditation. Tai Chi, Qi Gong is also a type of meditation. And I really meditated until I could center myself and calm myself so that I would know how to move forward. Because here's the thing, when it comes to mindset, then you have to tell your mind what to think. You have to tell yourself what and how to feel. Otherwise, you'll be tossed to and fro and you won't be centered. You'll be tossed to and fro from others' opinions, what they say, and it can be very overwhelming and confusing.
So how does somebody do that? How do they put themselves in that right mindset? Is that from affirmations, journaling? Are there any resources you recommend?
Okay, so a couple of things that I use and I do. Number one is YouTube.
Hmm.
Everybody's already on YouTube with all of these Dr. Google, as I call them. So you can just Google meditations. There are very simple, even 5-minute meditations with some nice soothing music, and they may guide you through a breathing exercise or just being in touch with your body and your emotions. So YouTube is a great resource. Journaling is good. I like journaling because sometimes if you have all of these emotions inside and you don't know what to do with them, if you write them out, it takes it out of here, out into the universe, so you can get it out of you and get up with a refreshed and renewed mind. The other thing that I love that you said affirmations. I do affirmations every day. Because I have to remind myself of who I am, what my power is, and to be able to stand in that power. So I'll say things like, I am peaceful, I am joyful, I am safe, I am protected, I enjoy perfect and total health, I am abundant, I am divine, I am wise. So I have a lot of them. So I usually go through it's a good 5 or 10 minutes just affirming and reminding myself of who I am and what my power is.
Well, I received those affirmations, and I'm sure like everybody watching, they're like, wow, where can I get more of that? So tell us more about your book that you wrote.
Yes, so this book is so appropriate right now. It is Conquering the Chaos, the Super Wonder Woman's 12-Step Strategy for a Stress-Free Life. And in this book, I go through the 12 systems of the body: respiratory, cardiovascular, nervous system, so on and so forth. The function of those systems and how stress affects them, as well as what I call a culinary cure. So there's a food that can help with your stress and that particular system. And I have affirmations in here as well.
Wow. So where can they purchase that book? Because you're right, that's something we need. If it's only 12 steps, that sounds doable. That sounds like what we could be doing during that 5-minute time to ourselves.
Absolutely. And you can purchase that book in my Stress-Free Life store. And that link is stressfreelife.store.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have that link posted for everybody. And if they have more questions, do you offer one-on-one calls like this, or where can people actually sit down with you if they don't know how to craft out this mindset and mindfulness that you're talking about?
So you can go to my website, drmichelleclay.com, and you can schedule a complimentary 15-minute strategy session just to see where you are and the direction that you want to take. So you can either go to that website, drmichelleclay.com.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So you are going to be bombarded with these 15-minute calls, I'm sure. So I hope that you continue to take time to relax and not feel anxious, because we're counting on you. And, thank you so much for your time today. But let me ask you this before we go. If you could give maybe one tip, for people to just leave and after watching this video, to live a stress-free life, what is one thing that they absolutely must do if it had to just be one thing?
The one thing I would say is me time, but that starts with mindset, because you have to know that you deserve it, that you are worthy, and that it is gas in your gas tank. So really that me time, and me time is whatever it is that is food and fuel for your soul. It might be a nice soothing cup of tea. It might be to read a book for a few minutes. It might be, for me, it's also juicing. I got my juice here. Or it may be yoga, whatever it is, whatever your me time is, but know that you matter and you deserve it.
Wow, well, thank you. We all deserve it. We all matter. And we are all doing our part to flatten this curve and social distance. And we're going to all make it through. And like you said, we need this mindset now, and we need it in the past, we need it in the present, and we'll need it in the future. So I definitely want to encourage you all to follow up with Dr. Michelle Clay and definitely reach out to her for her book. But I also have to tell you all, one thing that I do for my sanity is I love Dr. Michelle Clay's tea. Now, she knows that I am a #1 fan of her tea, so you have to tell them about this delicious and healthy tea that you make.
Yes, so I have a Release line of teas, and the tea that Andrea absolutely loves is the Release Recharge tea, which is specially formulated to give you a sense of calm and ease. And we could all use that like all the time. But right now I have a special called the Boost and Balance Bundle Giveaway. And so what that is a trinity of teas. Of course, the signature Release Recharge tea, which is hibiscus based. And we have the Release Rise and Shine tea, which is citrus based. It has orange slices, dehydrated orange slices, ginger root, dandelion root, lemon. It's delicious. It gives you just rise and shine. And the Release Boost and Balance tea, which has lemon slices, rosemary, sage, clove, cinnamon. I've been actually drinking this all week because I just want to make sure, that's why it's called Boost and Balance. It helps boost your immune system as well as balance your mood. So you can enter this giveaway to get the trinity of teas by texting Balance Bundle to 44222.
Okay, well, thank you. When I say I just love you, Dr. Michelle, I really do. And I want to thank you so much, for being my friend and for taking the time to talk to my community about mindset and, just a positive mentality. And I know I am going to now definitely have affirmations. I'm going to go back and look at the book that I purchased from you and read it again, because I think you can never have enough positivity in your life. And I love the analogy that you made about juggling. So everybody watching, don't beat yourself up. We're all doing the best we can. Life doesn't come with instructions, but I want to encourage you all that are watching, if you realize during this time that you hate your job or that something is not what it seemed to be, now that you do have this time to reflect, remember, you're in control. And, now is the best time to sit back and reflect as you meditate on ways you can overcome this. And having a resource like Dr. Michelle Clay is important. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And Dr. Michelle, do you mind, if they follow up with you in the comments, and you're going to post more information about where they can find you, right?
Absolutely. I'll be watching the comments to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, well, thank you all very much and have a good evening. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.